Namaste everyone and welcome to Amol Vani 2.0's Saraswati Namastubhyam. In this podcast, we will be learning a lot about Saraswati through the language Sanskrit. The whole and sole aim of these podcasts is to know and learn more about Saraswati and everything that is related to Saraswati. My guest for today's podcast is Shubha Vengadakrishnan, who is a native Sanskrit speaker and a Sanskrit teacher. She learned Sanskrit from a very small age from her mother, who is a Sanskrit scholar, a retired professor, and the head of the Department of Sanskrit at the University of Mysore. Till date, she converses only in Sanskrit with her mother and sister. Though Shubha did engineering, after 1 year at an IT company, she realized that this is not her calling. Later, she completed MA in Sanskrit from Karnataka State Open University. Also, she has done MSc in Vedic Sciences from MIT, IIKS Pune. Currently, she runs a YouTube channel named Tattvam, where she shares valuable information about Sanskrit, Vedas, and Indic knowledge. She currently resides in the Netherlands and also takes online classes for adults and kids through her organization called Tattvam. Let's dive into the world of Sanskrit and learn more about Saraswati. This is Amol Vani 2.0's Saraswati Namastubhyam. Namaste Shubha, welcome to Amol Vani 2.0's Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Namaste.
How are
Saraswati
you?
Namaha.
Absolutely. I think the reason why we connected is also because of Saraswati ji. And I remember watching, your videos on YouTube and such amazing knowledge you have. And the way you explain is so beautiful. I immediately thought of, reaching out to you to learn from you because I know you are a fantastic teacher also because I've seen your teaching podcast where your students are also talking in Sanskrit. So I hope that someday at least 1 or 2 lines I'm able to speak. Maybe the more we do our podcast, you will teach me that also. And really, really pleasure to have you here.
It's my pleasure also to be doing a podcast with a great singer like you. I have listened to some of your songs, really very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So before Shubha, we enter into this, because for all the viewers, let me just tell you, this podcast will have a lot of technical stuff and it's not something very superficial that we are trying to learn and understand. So it will have technical detailing and all. So before we go into that, I would actually like for me and for a lot of people like me who love Sanskrit and who can't speak, and those who might have learned it in their schools, like I did, but only the teacher and I know how much. I mean, I was able to do justice to the subject that we learned in the school. So first thing first, tell me, how do we even say? Do we say Sanskrit? Do we say Samaskritam? What is it? What is the right way of saying it?
Samskritam is the correct way.
Samskritam.
Yeah, the na is not correct because I'll tell you some technicalities.
Please, please. This is all about the technical stuff. So go for it.
So we put sa, and on top of that we put the anuswara.
Anuswara. Yes.
That's called anuswara.
Yes.
So after the anuswara, if there is a letter, and if that letter has a nasal sound,
Okay.
then anuswara changes to the nasal sound. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Ganga.
Ganga.
Initially, it's actually gum and ga. But then what happens that because the anuswara is followed by ga, the nasal sound of ga is nga. For the whole ka, kha, ga, gha, for all four, the nasal sound is nga. So the anuswara changes to nga and it becomes ganga.
Got it.
We are supposed to write it like ga, nga, and ga.
Oh, the one which comes in the bottom of the letter.
Yeah. But because of Hindi influence, in Hindi there are no such Sandhi rules, I think.
Correct.
So
I
because that
might not be the right person to say that, but I'm very sure you would know better than me.
Hindi, you know better than me. Yeah. So because of Hindi influence, we are writing like ga and on top of anuswara and ga.
Got
In
it.
case of Sanskritam, the sa sound does not have a nasal sound.
Oh, yes, correct. Sir doesn't have a nasal sound. Correct.
sa, sha, sha, these don't have nasal sounds.
Correct.
So the Anuswara remains as it is.
Got it.
So we have to pronounce it as Sanskritam.
So you're saying
No,
because after the Anuswaram, the letter that is following, that is sa, and it does not have a nasal sound to it. Therefore, the Anuswaram remains as sam and not. Hmm.
yes,
Got.
yes.
Very interesting. Wow. So I am going to be following this at least. I'll be saying Sanskritam
Yeah.
from now on. And all our viewers can also, learn these, because I think these are such nuanced things that many times in the flow of things, if we just, pass on, we don't pay attention to it. But it's always good to, learn and from somebody who knows the language in and out so well, like you. So now that we're talking about, language and Sanskritam, uh, according to you, what do you feel is the role of Sanskritam in shaping the Bharatiya civilization?
Oh, it's a big topic. Actually, I wanted to make a video on this,
Oh, good.
but
You can cut this and put it in your videos.
I have to still do a lot of research. But I will tell you like basic ideas that I have in my mind.
Absolutely.
Culturally, if you take
Hmm.
this Sanatana Dharma, its core texts are in Sanskritam.
Absolutely right.
And you take any of our rituals, be it naming ceremony, vivaha, any of them.
Yeah.
So all the mantras, all the procedures, everything is in Sanskritam.
That's right.
My students recently in my class, she said, Sanskritam is like inevitable, unavoidable. I cannot escape from it.
That's
Everywhere.
true. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. And even though there is like some regional differences, if you take the Vivaha Samskara, the way it is performed in North is totally different from the way it is performed in South. Even in South, there are so many differences. But the common thing, those regional differences are like based on the region there.
Correct.
But we have the Saptapadi, which is, in fact, even in the law, after the Saptapadi only, the wedding is actually, it is formalized. So that Saptapadi, those mantras are common across India.
Entire Bharatvarsh.
Yes. And they're all in Sanskritam.
Correct.
So this is like the Sanskritam, I would say, is like, it is like the veins running beneath India, which is giving that Indianness to all of us.
Absolutely.
And if you
Fantastic.
take linguistics wise, all languages, so any Indian language you take, so much of Sanskritam in all languages.
Correct.
So for Indians, actually, learning Sanskritam is very easy.
Yeah.
Vocabulary is so easy
Very
because
similar. Yeah.
In my classes, I have Indian students and non-Indian students. So non-Indian students, they're able to catch the grammar, but vocabulary is a problem for them. For Indian students, vocabulary is like easy. It comes
Easy. Naturally to them.
They use words from their mother tongue, and it's actually there in Sanskritam, so it's very easy.
Very interesting.
And if you take, for example, profession-wise, any profession you take, if you go into the Sanskritam texts, ancient texts, you will get a lot of knowledge, lot of insight, and you will be actually mesmerized by our ancient Indians. Their thinking, it is so deep.
Absolutely.
It will be very interesting, and actually you can contribute in your profession, through your profession, to the world if you go deep into our ancient texts. Say, for example, you are a musician.
Yeah.
Music is like so much is there in Sanskritam. Sangeeta Ratnakara is there. Bharata's Natya Shastra also has a lot of music elements in there. If you read those and you read the elements about music, what he has told, I'm sure you'll start getting ideas how you can take his principles, his ideas, put it into your profession and contribute more to the world through your profession. So not just art, even science, there is so much of science related. And even in art, it's not just music and dance, but there is also painting, sculpture, all those things are there in the Shastras.
Correct.
So arts, science, commerce, Artha
Name
Shastra
it
is
and
there.
you'll have it.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, very rightly said, because uh, so I'm looking, of course, to Sanskritam as so, because we are now not in touch with the language for last many centuries, so it has become like this magical lock, and if we have a key to it, and if we open that, it will open a new dimension for everybody. uh, uh, Not just in India, I think across the world, I mean, we Indians have always been the thinker of the sort that everything is for the world, and we have always tried to do things for the betterment of the community of people across the globe. So, in search of that key, like you said, and not many of the people who will be watching this might know that I'm a musician, because this is something that they don't know, this aspect of it, this aspect of mine, about being connected with the Indic knowledge, and not many people know about it. So, like you said, Natya Shastra, in fact, I cannot pan the camera and show you, but in one of my note, I had written Natya Shastra, and I was trying to study what are the different ways in which, like you said, betterment of the profession that I am in, which is music. And there's so many things. I mean, it's a crazy world. I feel even if you take one small thing, it will take the entire lifetime. I don't know how our ancestors were, writing all these things and doing such fantastic work. I mean, the common notion amongst a lot of modern historians and even a lot of scholars is that Indians are not good at documenting. And I always say that, oh God, I think that's a wrong and false notion, because there is so much documentation. The only thing is that what you might think as a document may not fit into the definition that is there in your mind, because how the ancient Indians and our ancestors have documented things is very unique. I find it very it's fascinating that at times they have taken the helps of stories, at times they have just given us the facts, at times they have gone so philosophical that you'll have to decode stuff. So it's a very unique way of documentation.
Shastras, if you read, it's very scientific. The way it is structured, oh, it's very scientific actually. If you take a Shastra, and there will be
So for our audience, can you tell us what a Shastra is? Although I have read about it, but for the audience, can you tell what a Shastra means? Because see, there's one common thing which I find amongst a lot of people, and even personally for me, before 3-4 years maybe, even I might not have known differences between various words. Like people think Ved, Puran, Upanishad, Shastra, everything is the same. It's just a common it's a feeling that oh, all this is the same. No, I mean, everything has shlokas. No, so many times I've written, no, it's not about the shlokas and the mantras. There are many different things. So can you just tell us a little bit about the Shastra that you're talking about?
Shastra means it's like a proper document, like it's a scientific work, you can say. Like Natya Shastra, though dance is an art, the science of that art, that is documented in Natya Shastra. Dance also has music in it.
Correct.
So, if you read a Shastra, many Shastras, how it is, there will be Purva Paksha, Uttara Paksha. So, first the Shastra will state something. And then either the Shastrakara himself will think what the opponent, like somebody opposing, what will be his views.
Got
So
it.
that
How
is
can the other person counter me?
Yeah, yes. He will think that. He will put that.
Okay.
And then Tarapaksha is so the Shastrakara. He will substantiate that. So every minute detail, say for example, Tarka Shastra, first it mentions this is for Balas.
So tark
So
means to do to question, right? Tark dena.
that's a logical
A
thinking.
logical tark.
Yeah. So he in the Mangala Shloka somewhere he says for the balas, but that is young, and he says bala here doesn't mean small boys, but who is new to this Shastra,
Oh,
and
okay.
he substantiates why this is for them.
Oh, wow.
So you cannot have any other doubts. Everything is
Everything is there. I mean,
the Shastrakara himself thinks
so
what
so
all
you
doubts
say that they have
arise.
already thought holistically about what all can come through. How can somebody question me, and how can I answer that? Even that is written in the
Yes.
Shastra.
And
Fantastic.
they substantiate it very scientifically.
I mean, the more and more I started getting into the Indic knowledge, and for a lot of people those who don't know, I started, of course, reading with the Rig Veda, and that is related to the river Saraswati, and that's where my journey had started. But before that, of course, there are a lot of other things which I was reading. But then, because of the Saraswati, I really latched on to the Rig Veda, and my God, even although I haven't even scratched the surface of it, and it feels like the kind of thinking with which it's written. I won't even say written, because many people get offended and they say, no, it's not written, it's realized. So the way in which it is realized is also, it's very profound, and it's very I mean, it's a lot of work for the mind to see the layers, because it's not just about, oh, if a verse is written or a sukta is written, it's not just about, oh, it's written and it's just a technical two-liner and it's done. No, there are so many layers to it. There's a philosophical layer to it, there's a spiritual aspect to it, there's also the real life aspect to it, and especially when we come to talking about the river Saraswati. So anyway, now that I talked about the river Saraswati, my fascination with the river Saraswati started because I'm a musician, and in our homes, you know that Saraswati is one of those goddess um, whom we worship almost every time, because all the music that we have, all the knowledge, the gyan that we have acquired is all because of Saraswati. And especially in my home, since I was a child, my amma appa used every Basant Panchami, every Saraswati Puja, we have all this. I'm pretty sure even at your place, it would be a norm to keep all the books and musical instruments, and then the next day sit and sing in front of Saraswati Ma. So it has been a very integral part of my life, and that is what took me towards this entire civilization which was born out of the river Saraswati. And then I eventually went into the Rig Vedic, trying to see what's written, because like I said, many times what happens is, if you ask anybody what's written in Ved, Puran, Shastra, everything, say, हाँ मंत्र लिखे हैं ना उसमें, कुछ तो भगवान के मंत्र लिखे हैं. So that's a common, somehow I don't know how everything has gotten so covered with a layer of dust that we are unable to see what's actually inside, and everything is taken in a religious connotation. And it's very different the more you start reading. I'm sure because you are reading so many shastras and you teach also, so you would also know that confining everything to just saying, oh, this is a religious book, it's mythology. Especially the word mythology many times irritates me, because myth is something, I mean, you'll say, oh, it doesn't exist, it's a it's something created by the mind. So it's a very different kind of space. So because Sanskrit, sorry, Sanskritam, Sanskritam, and because you have the key to the lock. So I would like to actually go into the finer aspects of the language with you, because one of the very beautiful videos, and for all the audiences, you should definitely go and watch her channel called Tatvam on YouTube. There's a video that you had done about Niruktam. Am I right in saying that? So please tell us what Niruktam is, and then we'll go into the language, and a few words that I definitely wanted to learn about from you. But please tell the audience what Niruktam means, and why is it important.
So Vedas, to study and understand Vedas, we need to take the help of the six Vedangas.
Okay.
Niruktam is one of the Vedangas. So the 6 Vedangas are Chandaha, the prosody, Vyakaranam, grammar, Kalpa is the ritualistic, the procedures of various rituals. Jyotisha is astronomy, the astronomical calculations, that one. Nirukta, I'll tell you about that now. And Shiksha is the pronunciation, to pronounce properly. Because it was Vedas were transmitted through only orally.
Yeah.
So pronunciation is very important. So they developed the science for that. And that is Shiksha Shastra. Vyakaranam is the grammar. So these are the Vedangas. Nirukta is extremely important to understand the meaning, actual meaning of the Vedic words.
Okay.
Actually, the Nirukta, it has 2 parts, Nighantu and the Nirukta. Nighantu is a list of all Vedic words.
Okay.
The Nirukta is actually commentary on those words.
Oh,
So,
okay. Interesting.
And this in Nirukta, if you ask me, the Nirukta in English is etymology. So understanding how the word has,
Origin of the word.
Yeah, how this word has got formed.
Okay.
And for Nirukta, the etymology of Nirukta itself is Nisheshena Uktam, iti Niruktam. That is, each word is analyzed without leaving anything. The dhatu is analyzed, the prefixes are analyzed, every aspect of the word is analyzed, Nisheshena, without leaving anything. That is why this Shastra is called Niruktam.
So that means this becomes the founding block of understanding everything that is written in Sanskritam, right? Because if we know what is the reason, what is the origin, why is that word existing, if we know that, then we already know the meaning of it. So the sentence will have the meaning of it because the word itself, we know the Niruktam of that word. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, yes.
So, okay, let's do fun thing then. What is the Niruktam for Sanskritam?
Samyak kritam iti Sanskritam. That which is done properly. That is why it is called Sanskrit.
Oh, so is this the pattern in which you the Niruktam always gives an answer like something iti? Is that how it typically works?
Mostly we say like that. Like that is why it is.
Oh wow,
Mostly.
very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Sorry, were you saying something? Did I?
So why Niruktam is very important?
Yeah.
Because that example in one of my videos also I have told, but I will tell again. If you see there is in Vedas you see this word vritra coming again and again. Vritra. So the Nirukta itself says ko vritraha, who is vritra? Medha iti nairuktaha. And twashtra asuraha iti aitihasika. Aitihasikaha, historians. Historians will say vritra is twashtra asura. Twashta is an entity, a person, and his son is twashtra, and he's a asura. So Aitihasika says vritra is a demon. But what Nirukta says, Medha iti nairuktaha. The etymologist will say vritra is a cloud.
And why is that?
Yeah. In the Vedas, you'll see verses which say that this Vritra is a demon, and Indra hit him with his Vajrayudha, killed him, slayed him, and then Lokamangalam happened.
Correct.
Now, how the etymologist will say that? First, Vritra is a cloud. Why he comes to the conclusion? Varanat Vritraha. It has come from the word Varana, meaning to cover.
Okay.
Cloud has covered the water. Indra's Ayudha is what? Thunderbolt is the Ayudha of Indra.
Correct.
Even in Vedas, that is his Ayudha. So when the thunderbolt strikes the cloud, the cloud opens up and rainfall happens. And when rain happens, then it's doing good to humanity. Lokamangala. So this is how the Nairuktas will analyze. They will not just say this is demon, this is God. They'll actually
scientifically they're going to see what's happening.
What is the exact concept that it is this mantra is trying to say, you will come to know by going into the etymology of the word. I gave a talk on Medha Suktam.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, and I put that video in my YouTube channel also. So there also, I have been reciting Medha Suktam from my childhood.
Oh, wow.
But when I started going deep into it and I started looking into the etymology of the words, then wow, this is so profound, I felt.
Correct.
In Medha Suktam, Indra is there. Indra mentioned, we are praying to Indra also for giving Medha. So, who is actually Indra? Indriyanam Raja, Indra. He is the lord of all the Indriyas. There are 10 Indriyas. 5 are Karmendriya, 5 Jnanendriyas. And there is 11th Indriya, that is Ekadasham cha Manaha, mind.
Oh, mind.
Mind who controls all the Indriyas. So Indra is nothing but the mind.
Oh, wow.
So if you relate it with what you see in the television serials, how they show Indra,
it's very totally different. And
it actually matches, I would say.
Really, because I always thought that in television series they'll show Indra as a funny character who will just come and always. Also, you are saying that because it's the man, it is disturbing the Indriyas.
Yeah,
Ah.
it is a story of our mind. Indra is always how they show in the TV series.
So when you said about the Ved and how Indra is depicted there, my idea of that was that the working force that is making things happening is Indra.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That is also correct. So the Nirukta also says, Tisro vai devataha. All devatas are classified into 3 groups.
Oh.
Prithvi sthaniyaha, terrestrial, Antariksha sthaniyaha, atmospherical, and Dyusthaniyaha, beyond that, the heaven you can say. So it's actually like take the Sthula aspect, Sukshma aspect, and beyond the Sukshma aspect.
So the context varies. In which context we are talking about the Indra. In the terrestrial context, it's about us and our man. Okay. So then it makes sense on the television how we see that it's depicted, because our man is also like that, no, trying to play with our Indriyas and tell us if we know something is wrong, but we want to do it.
So he'll be indulging always in dance and drinking and everything, but he'll end up having some problem. Some demon will.
Correct.
Only then he'll remember Vishnu, he'll remember God, he'll remember spirituality, he'll go to them. That is how our mind
is. When we get stuck, oh God, save us. Oh wow, what a fantastic way of demystifying this thought of my mind. I always used to think, why are they showing Indra like this on TV? Oh, good. I'm going to tell my dad about it. Even me and my dad were discussing something. Oh, why do they show? Now I have the clear answer of it. Okay. Really nice. Superb.
That is why Nirukta is very important. You will actually get into the concept. Like if you are totally into bhakti, then it's okay.
Then it won't mean much because you're anyway trying to be. But all the technical people who want to know about the subject, like I would say the researchers, and for them, I think this is a very important, I think the most important tool, because Sanskritam being such a scientific language, and even they say Devon ki bhasha hai na? It's the language of the gods, and it's so scientifically designed, structured. So in fact, everything in Sanskritam has a meaning. Nothing is meaningless. So for that, I think Niruktam plays such a big role that if we know the exact meaning of the word and how has it come, we know what that thing is being talked about. Like, you had talked once about there are so many contextual meanings of Agni. And there are different words for it. It depends on where are you using it, what is the purpose, and therefore the Niruktam of that word really matters, like based where you're using the word, isn't it?
Yes.
So because this series is all about Saraswati, so I would like to know what would be the Niruktam of the word Saraswati itself, And if you can tell that how it started, what would have been the way in which the word itself is designed, it would be really insightful for all of us.
So in Saraswati, the dhatu, in Sanskritam, dhatus are root words. So dhatu is sru.
Sru. Okay.
Yeah. Sru has two meanings. One is to flow. Another meaning for sru is speech.
Oh.
The and in the word Saraswati, there is a pratyaya called matu pratyaya, which we use commonly even in other languages, but in other languages you don't name it as matu pratyaya. It's used like, for example, you would have heard blessings like Saubhagyavati Bhava.
Right. Yeah.
So there, Vati, you see, same like in Saraswati, that Vati is nothing but the matu pratyaya.
Got it.
This matu pratyaya gives the meaning of one who is having, one who possesses.
Okay.
So Saubhagyavati Bhava,
Saubhagya.
Yeah, you become the one who possesses Saubhagya. That is how they are blessing. In case of Saraswati, Sri means speech. So since she is Vaagdevi, she possesses that speech. So that meaning comes. And flow, if you take the meaning flow, then what is flow? What flow does she possess? In the case of the river Saraswati, it is very evident. Because the river is always flowing, she possesses the flow. So the name of the river is Saraswati, very evident. In case of goddess Saraswati, she actually represents the flow of inspiration from a higher plane into our mind, into our intellect. If you see the Vedic Saraswati, in the Puranas, she's made as the wife of God Brahma. But in the Vedas, Saraswati is always accompanied by two more goddesses, Ila and Mahi.
Correct. Yes.
Ila is the goddess of revelation. So it can be revelation, it can be an idea that is coming into your mind, a divine vision, all that is Ila. And Mahi is the goddess of space. So for Saraswati to flow, that is for inspiration and ideas and revelations to flow in our intellect, there should be space. The mind is totally preoccupied with so many thoughts, then ideas will not flow. If you have observed it,
correct. So true.
If the mind is calm and peaceful, there is space, then new ideas, creative ideas, all that starts flowing. So Saraswati represents this flow. Also, one person saw the video and I think she messaged me or put in the comments. She said another idea. She heard it from some other spiritual teacher. Saraswati represents the flow of knowledge from the guru to the shishya. That flow also is represented by Saraswati.
Interesting.
So this is what Saraswati actually represents.
So Sri Dhatu, and which is associated with a flow, and the other one is what you said is also associated with the speech.
Yeah. Sri is, if you see the meaning of Sri, it is to flow. Also, the speech is that also.
Very interesting. So what I'm trying to now, the thought that is coming into my mind is something like this. Okay, and this is just whatever is coming to my mind, I'm just saying that. So now that everything has become representational and symbolic in the way we practice Sanatan Dharma right now, of course, Saraswati goddess is the goddess of, because we say that she's the goddess of speech, she's the goddess of wisdom, she's also the goddess of music, knowledge. So we are associating this flow with these, or with the speech and how knowledge is flowing to us. What I'm thinking of this, especially with the Niruktam that you have just explained to me, what it feels like to me is this, that because the entire civilization was was taking shape next to this river. Everything that started in this part of the world in Bharat, and it was all around Saraswati, because if you go and see the ancient Harappan sites, most of them are around the Vedic River Saraswati. And now there are so many ISRO studies, and they have done the study of paleo channels of Saraswati River. And the maximum settlements, human settlements, which you will find is all next to River Saraswati. So what I am imagining this is to be something like, when people have started living next to this river and they're seeing such a mighty, majestic force of nature coming down from the Manasarovar, flowing in all its might. Because if I'm not wrong, I had studied somewhere that the width of River Saraswati at some points was 8 kilometers, 12 kilometers, so huge. So such a mighty stream of river, such a mighty river flowing, that itself. So technically, when you said it means to flow, then of course that tells us, like you said, that, oh, what is flowing? The river is flowing. But because the humans are also evolving, they are on the banks of the river Saraswati, and they are trying to understand the nature around them, the fact about the prakriti, and who we are and how we are one with nature. All that knowledge, because you said a very nice word, and I'm going to remember that is revelation, right? You said that. So what now I feel is that when people say Vedas are realized, I think this is what they mean, and it relates to Saraswati, is what is getting revealed to them, the knowledge across which is there all around them. That also goes for the space aspect that you said. It's all around them, but they are that is revealing itself to all these people whom we now call the rishis and Rishi and Muni. So I think that would have inspired them. This again, we can only say would have and could have, because this has happened some thousands of years back. So that would have maybe inspired them to say that, because this river is what is giving us all this. It's giving us the way to live and giving us livelihood, and for us to stay safe and have water, and revealing so much of knowledge. That's when maybe they might have started associating it, or that name, with knowledge and speech. And but the music aspect, maybe now we see music differently as arts. But what I have realized is that most of our ancestors, I mean all of them, they were looking at the world in a very different way. For them, everything is integrated. They're not looking at, oh, this is art, this is this. For them, in the same, like him, they are mentioning scientific parts also. They are also dealing with the poetic aspects of it, and so many things, and it's all interrelated. So I think maybe that might be one of the biggest reasons that Saraswati eventually became the goddess, because a river water is always considered to be nurturing, and mothers are the one which gives, who nurture us. So there's this feminine quality always attached to a river, like Ganga Ma, Yamuna Ma, and Saraswati Ma. And maybe that's what might have led to Saraswati becoming this deity of knowledge and speech and music. And so yeah, I think this Niruktam has helped me kind of demystify this entire aspect, that why only this goddess was associated with these aspects of human life. Fantastic. So now that you have told about speech, so and you mentioned the word Vaak Devi, right?
Yeah.
So could you also give me a Niruktam for Vaak? Like, what does that mean? How do you break it up?
Vaak, it's from the dhatu uchyate iti vaak. That is
Whatever
the
comes out, speak.
yes.
Whatever we speak is
Yeah.
Vaak.
Yeah.
Very
That's that is the thing for vaak.
So what is so? Give me a few words which you think, which we generally associate with Goddess Saraswati. Like, the words which are coming to my mind are, of course, Vaak, and then Sangeet. We also call her Sharada. We also call her Vaageeshwari, and so many more words. So can we try and understand the Niruktam behind these words too?
So Vaageeshwari she's the goddess of Vaak. So that is why Vaageeshwari.
Fun fact, Vaageeshwari, like the Ishwari of Vaak, eventually became the Raag Bageshri. In classical
Oh,
Indian, yes. So in Indian
okay.
classical, there's this Raag called Bageshwari. And when I
Ah,
was trying to see, like, why is it? Because Ishwari came, no? So it kind of ringed some bell in my mind. And I was trying to see what is it. And then I realized it was actually Vaak Ishwari. And then it
mm.
eventually became Vaageshwari and then became Bageshwari. Because,
Oh,
many times in North, you say, for example, for Shiva, let's say you'll say Banaras, and
ah,
Va and Ba are many times interchanged, like Vishwanath,
yes,
Bhagwan
yes.
Vishwanath. So similarly, that Vaageshwari became Bageshwari, and then it
Ah,
became Bageshri
oh,
for a period of time. So, and
actually, uh, the verb it can be interchanged. Even Panini Maharshi has
really,
accepted that.
oh wow,
Verbhayor abhedaha, he says.
what
So
is it
they
called? Sorry.
verbhayor abhedaha. They can be changed and used. No
Oh,
problem.
oh wow,
Yeah.
lovely. I didn't know that. I thought it was a colloquial way of maybe. Very nice, very interesting. So yeah, Vageshwari definitely a very close thing to me as a musician also, and
Vaageshwari is in Sanskrit. Vaageshwari.
Vagish.
Vaakeshwari. I think it became A in the
During all this process of slight changes, and it became,
yeah.
yeah, Bageshwari and Bageshri, but yeah, it's
Uh,
it's it's actually it is Vaakeshwari only. So
oh.
wow, so now I know about that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, please continue. Yes.
Then Sangeetam is from the Gayati, that Geetam, that is from that only Sangeetam, but I just checked this Natya Shastra.
Mm-hmm.
There he says, Nritya Geeta Vadyasya Shastram Sangeetam. So Sangeetam is not just singing, dance, Vadyam, instruments, and Geetam, singing. All three
Like how
together
we
is.
used to read in our books कि गायन वादन और नृत्य के समागम को संगीत कहते हैं.
Oh, is it? You have
Yeah,
read like
that's
that?
the standard definition of Sangeet in our books.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Then your nice books. Yes, some is like coming together actually. So
Some.
Sangeet. Yeah, here again that in the initially I said no that principle. So the
Oh,
Anuswara became Nga and became Sangeet.
very nice. And could you also tell me for Sharada?
Sharada is okay. Actually, Saraswati's another name is also Saarada.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you for both.
Please,
Uh,
yes.
my grandmother's name is actually Sharada, and my mother always she used to, she keeps telling Sarada is a nice, better meaning word. She always used to feel. So she used to call Sarada only. She used
Oh,
to
and
tell
not
my
Sharada.
yeah. But
Oh.
I'll tell you for both. Sharada is because in the time of Sharad Rutu, her
Mhm.
puja is done. I think is Basant? No, I don't know. Basant Panchami will be in Vasant Rutu, no?
Correct.
Sharad. So, but Sharad Kale Asyaha Puja iti Sharada. That is the.
So
It
now you
comes
have
from
given
the.
me a new topic of research, because now I'll go and research about this, that if she is being, if a puja is being done, because if, I, I mean, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but Navratri falls in Sharad Ritu, because
Yeah,
there are
yeah, yes,
four
yes, correct,
Navratris. There are
correct.
four Navratris in each quarter,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
and that's all based on the season. So
yes.
In Sharad Navaratri, if that is the reason that it's called Sharda, then I mean that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that is the reason. It's called Sharan Navaratri only, actually. So that is, yeah, in the Sringeri Sharada Pitam and all, that is where main, there is a shloka, Sharat Kale Pura Yasmat Navamyam Bodhita Suraihi
Mhm.
Sharada Sa Samakhyata Pithe Lokecha Namataha. So
Okay.
in the Sharat Kala, because she was taught, she was preached by the gods during the time the Sharat Kala. So that is why in the Pitha, I think it refers to the Sharada Pitha in Sringeri.
In Kashmir.
Oh, there also on Sharada Pitha is there. Yeah, in Sringeri also there is a Sharada Pitha. Uh, and also Loke, even in the world, she came to be known as Sharada.
So
Sharada.
interesting. So the etymology would be the one who is being worshipped during the period of Sharad is Sharada. Is that right?
Yes.
And then what is Saarada?
Sarada is Saram Dadati iti Sarada. So
Ah.
she gives the essence of anything.
So I think this connects more with the Rigvedic and the knowledge part and all the other things. So I think the
Yeah.
right way would be to then say Sarada and not Sharada. Oh, very
Sharada is also there, but even for me, I like this name Sarada more.
Going
Like
back the Niruktam, I think the Sarada fits more to the entire context of the river, the Veda, and this entire the way in which now we represent the deity Saraswati. I think Saram is a better. Don't you think is a better what do you say definition wise?
anything, any subject you take, only if you understand the essence of it, you have like truly got a hold on that subject, you can say. Any subject, you have to grasp the essence of it. Otherwise, it's just you're mugging up and writing like that.
Superficially.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow.
So Saraswati is the one, she gives the saram, the essence of it.
Hmm.
So that is.
Wow. So we have done Saarada, we have done Vaageeshwari, we have done Vaak itself, the word Vaak itself. Sangeetam we
Yeah.
have. Let me
Yeah.
quickly go through a list of things that I wanted the Niruktam for. Okay, let's go. And Vidya.
Okay. Vidya is from the root word vid. It means to, vid jnane is the sutra for that. Vid jnane means jnanam, knowledge only is vidya. So
But how would you say it in that Niruktam form which you generally say?
in this case, we don't have like, because the dhatu is very evident. So with
So
it,
what does with mean? What does that mean?
with the jnane means with this knowledge.
So with
So in
itself is
the,
knowledge.
yes, and this word is from the dhatu vid,
Hmm.
and it in the verb form, this vid will mean if I put it in third person singular, it will be veti. Veti means to know. Veti means to know. Ishwaraha sarvam veti means Ishwara knows everything. So in the verb form, it is veti. In the noun form, in the strilingam form, vidya.
So again connects back to that thought of mine which is like while the river is flowing and all our rishis are trying to realize, and I mean they're meditating upon and something that they want to realize themselves, right? They're internally going internal. So to know kind of maybe fits that
Yeah.
perspective too. Hmm. Very interesting. Nadi.
Nadi is from nad dhatu. Nadati iti nadi. Nadati means to roar. That also is there. Also to make sound.
Oh my God, this is becoming very crazy. Oh wow. Okay, to roar or to make sound.
So nadi, the sound is like roaring sound only. If you have listened to the sound of river, it's kind of that kind of
Have
sound.
you read those suktams in Rig Veda? You
No.
know where they described Saraswati, the one that is making loudest sound. It's
Oh,
roaring. That's what is
oh,
written. So,
okay. I have read that
and
now.
that is why the word Nadi has also come into existence. My God,
Yes.
this is like blowing my mind in so many ways. Oh wow. Because it the flow, so because Saraswati River, the Nadi Saraswati, it was a glacial river. So it was ever flowing, perennial. And
Okay.
because of that, there was never a moment when there was less water. In fact, if you go and read the scientific studies, you'll find out that at many points, 5 rivers came together into Saraswati, and that even became huge. So
Mm.
it has always been described in the Rig Veda as a nadi. That is, so there is a one of the hymns, one of the Rig says that the river that is cutting across a mountain and a rock, it has that
Oh,
much force. It's roaring.
ah.
So that is why the word Nadi, oh my God, this is a revelation again related to Saraswati. Oh my God, fantastic. I'm already I'm getting goosebumps. Wow. Um, uh, you want to add something to Nadi?
No. But this was new for me, what you told about the Saraswati being such a, like, it's
Humongous. Big.
yeah.
Kala.
Kala is interesting one. Yeah. Kala, the etymology of that is kam lati iti kala.
Okay.
Kam means sukham, happiness.
Okay.
And lati means obtain or give. So art gives lot of happiness to everyone. So that is why kala. And there is one more dimension to this. There is a verb also, kalayati. It means to calculate. So the thing is, in the Indic, in our way, the art is not separated from calculation. Usually, I have heard like people say artists means they are totally away from analytical thinking, calculations. The math is there, like thrown away.
But yeah, that's
But
actually very untrue, because we are
uh,
always, even though we think that we are not, but our mind is always calculating.
that is why this Kala is when I was reading, I felt it's very interesting. It brings happiness, but it also means calculation. Even if you take painting, there is something called Chitra Sutras. This Shastra which describes painting and everything, how it should be done. There is this concept of Tala and Mana.
Okay.
Tala is the measurements, Mana is proportions.
Okay.
And I think you can put it in music also.
Yeah. So in very popularly we'll say, especially like Kala Pramanam, we'll say, how are we dividing the Pramanam? So if you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it has changed 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. The constant, the tempo is constant, but internally I've changed things that are going internally. So I've changed the pramanam of it. We
Yeah.
do that very much. In fact, many musicians, most of the musicians, they say that, oh, you know what, we are not good in the maths and science and all this. That's because they relate maths and science to what they have read in schools, and that becomes unrelatable. But if you see any musician's mind, internally they are always calculating, because there's this fascinating thing about art that I found when I won't even say found, I knew it but I never realized it. Oh wow! So it's all about realization. So that see, humans have this very unique ability to make patterns, and we find beauty in patterns. So we like to classify things. We like to make any abstract thing into a pattern and say, "Oh, look, it's so beautiful." For example, this thing behind me, it has a pattern to it, and that makes it beautiful for us. But so that is the calculation part of it. That beauty is giving us happiness to see, oh wow, what a design, it looks fantastic. So
Yes.
the calculation has led to that happiness. However, when we see things in abstract, that even otherwise, when we go to nature, there is no fixed pattern to it, but we feel happy.
Yeah.
So I think happiness exists, and we also find happiness in putting things into classifications and making patterns of it. That also gives us that happiness. So maybe that calculation part somewhere maybe connects like this to the kala word. I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, so art is actually putting abstract, as you said, putting abstract things into a proper pattern. That is
Correct. And
art.
for any design, like for example, you are having this design. So it is a set pattern, and we find, oh, wow, what a nice design. We like it.
Yeah.
But like you said, the Chitra Shastram, same way, somebody who's designing a textile, he's applying or she's applying a similar concept to a cloth rather
Yes.
than on a painting. So conceptually, they are the same. But the
Same in
fascinating.
dance also. I think they have some calculation, movements, calculation. Even in poetry, the Chandas Shastra is full of mathematics. In
Correct.
fact, so many deep maths are there. Math is there in Chandas Shastra.
Correct. In fact, that would be our next podcast when we talk about Chandas. And because that was one big place where I got stuck while I was trying to, read a few rigs of the Rig Veda. And that's when I realized that, Vedic Chandas are different and there's Lokik Chanda and there's so many things. So, yeah, that would go into a very different territory. But we will meet for that podcast as well very soon. So, yeah, so we've done Kala. What is the
And
word?
one more thing I wanted to say, there is a research paper by Professor Vinod Vidwan.
Okay.
So on this art, Kala, and how our Indic Shastra, what they say about art.
Oh,
So I would recommend people to read that
do you have
paper.
any link of it, which maybe you can send me?
I'll give it. I'll give.
Lovely, lovely. So what is the word in Sanskritam, the right way to describe wisdom? What is that word which you feel describes
Okay, so for me, I would use the word viveka.
Vivekaha? Okay.
Yeah, for wisdom. I got a nice definition for the word viveka. It is paraspara vyavritya vastu swarupa nishchaya. So by deleting how to say, by putting away unwanted things, you come to understanding the actuality of a thing.
So the process of elimination of so maybe decluttering. You are removing
yes.
the clutters and going more into what actually is.
Yes. So that is viveka. That is wisdom. Wisdom is try to know what is the actuality, right? Without and not getting carried away by all the superficial and also what is not true. Not getting carried away by that is wisdom. So I felt this viveka word, which if you see the interpretation, it says paraspara vyavritya vastu swarupa nishchaya. That is viveka. So for me, wisdom is viveka.
Very interesting. So would you say Vach and Vaak are the same or similar
Yeah.
word? They're the same.
Yeah, Vach is the root word.
And Vaak
And
is
when in usage, Vaak is actually the Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam of watch.
also okay. Got it. What do you say about the word Vani?
Okay. One, it is from the dhatu van. Vanati means to sound, to make sound. Vanati iti vani, to make sound.
Wow.
Also, vani is, the sound, there are like this, what is it? Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. These four are the types of vani.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know about this.
Okay, so Paravani is it is something which is there, in an unmanifested form.
Okay.
Pashyanti is it comes in the
Mind.
it gets reflected in the mind. Only people who are very meditative and like the rishis, they are able to see that. So
People who have
Pashyanti.
Vivek, the people who have Vivek in them.
Yeah, of course, rishis have viveka, but the mind should be very still and they'll be able to see. It gets reflected in the mind. That is Pashyanti. Madhyama is, it is not spoken, but it is there in the mind. We do these talks in the mind. It is there in the mind, but it has not yet come out.
Okay.
That is Madhyama. And Vaikhari Vani is the one which comes out. Now what I'm speaking, that is Vaikhari Vani.
Wow.
So Vani is as I told you, the Nirukta says, Tisro vai devataha, Prithvi sthaniyaha, Dyusthaniyaha, Antariksha sthaniyaha. So Vani can be Prithvi sthaniya. All four Vanis are Prithvi sthaniya. Antariksha sthaniya can be the sound you hear in the
cosmos.
not the cosmos, but the cloud, the thunderbolt,
the world around us.
Sounds from the atmosphere, the thunderbolt, all those sounds. And cosmic sound, that is the Dustani. So those sounds rishis they hear, but we can, like the movement of the earth that creates a sound. We cannot hear that, but there is a sound in the Dusthana. That sound is we cannot hear.
We can't. We cannot. Our
We
minds.
cannot perceive. Yeah.
So,
But
you said the Niruktam for Vani is from Van Dhatu.
one,
And
one
one meant what?
sound, to make sound.
To make a sound. That is
Yes.
one. Because why I ask this word is because Saraswati Devi is related to speech. So for speech, you need to have sound, right? So that is why I thought I'll also try to ask about the word Vani, because that's related to Vaak. That's related to, right?
Yeah. And even Saraswati's another name itself is Vani also. Vani
Correct.
also means,
Because everything became synonymous to Saraswati after a point, and now that we have symbolized it with the deity, but I'm pretty sure that the people, because the way our rishis have been thinking is not the way I am pretty sure we are thinking in very limited senses. Those people were thinking in a very holistic manner, I feel. So, very nice. So Vani, would you like to add something to Vani?
no, that's it. Yeah.
Nice. Then I have few words. Shakti.
Shakti is from Shaknoti iti Shakti. Shaknoti means can do, possible to do. So anything she can do, anything. So Shaknoti. In normal Sanskrit, Sanskritam, when you speak, aham etat kartum shaknomi. If I say, means,
ये कर सकता हूँ, कर सकती.
yeah. So the Shakti is from that word. Shak is the dhatu. From that, Shaknoti.
Very interesting.
Shaknoti.
Would you have any idea? This is just a question that popped up in my mind. So would you have any idea about, because see, I'm pretty sure languages evolve. So vocabularies keep getting added. So the word Shakti itself, would you have any idea about a timeline or approximation that when would it would have been added as a vocabularical word to in the language, or was it always there? I don't know.
Oh, this Shaknoti, you mean?
Yeah, the word Shakti itself. So would you think that it would, do you think that it might have been at the same time when Saraswati word is existing and Shakti is also existing, or do you feel that, because I'm feeling that Shakti might have been added later to the vocabulary, but that's my thought. I don't know if it's true.
I have no idea. I don't think that. Like when it was added to the vocabulary, I cannot make.
Because the only way maybe to find out is to see, because to see when, so we have the Devi Mahatmyam, which is added later, and the talk of Shakti and Shiva. So maybe I might have to study upon this to see that when is the first time that the acharyas have started using the word Shakti, or whether in the Rig Veda itself the word Shakti is present. Because if it's present, then that means the vocabulary is similar to that particular timeline. That would be an interesting research for me. So, talking with learned people like you, it helps me to again then go back and learn more to find out, oh, where did this come from? So a new question has popped up in my mind. I think that's a very helpful thing. So what do you think about Devi?
Devi is from Div Dhatu. Divyati iti Devi. Divyati means to shine bright.
So when we say something ye divya hai, it means that there is something inside which is shining. Is that what it is?
Yes.
So then what is the difference between Devi and Devata? It's just the matter of the pulling striling? Oh.
Yeah.
So the Niruktam for both would be the same.
Div only. Both come from the Div Dhatu.
So essentially anything that glows or not glows literally, but the
Yeah.
glow is also related with, the one who is like, all the gurus whom we see, sometimes people say they are divya, bahut divya
Yes.
log
Divya
hain.
Purush. Yeah.
So like enlightenment, that kind of glow is what you're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
This is what I feel like. There's so many layers to a word. Literal meaning, because somebody might say, oh, what is glowing? Nothing is glowing. Because something will not glow behind our heads. No.
Yeah.
It's, about how we are feeling the vibration of somebody. I think that also is another layer. Uh,
Yeah.
then Jnan.
Jnanam is also like, Jna is a dhatu.
Mhm.
So it means to know.
To know.
Knowledge. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the other
So
word that also meant to know?
with the
With.
jnane. Yeah.
Hmm. So, do you think that now that both the words mean almost the same thing, to know, do you think
Yeah.
contextually they are used differently?
Mm, Vidya and Jnanam. I think in this case, they can be used because Jnanam is a Napumsakalingam word, Vidya is a Strilingam word. That is the difference. But otherwise, I feel they both have the same meaning.
Meaning wise, they are same, but it's the differences of the link.
Yes.
Oh, very interesting.
Or maybe we need to do little more research to see if there is any subtle difference.
So maybe next podcast you can tell me this.
Yeah.
The difference between.
Because I see that in the Panini's Sutra Patha itself, with the Jnana is only given. So that is why I
So
feel
they
that
are used together. Is that what you're saying?
to explain the meaning of Vid, he has
Mhm.
used Jnanam. That is what Vid
Or
means.
to
So,
explain with itself, the
yeah, yeah.
and to explain Jnanam, what is used?
I think maybe you can say Janati iti Jnanam. That is also, Janati is all, means to know.
जानना जो हिंदी में we say.
Ah, yes, yes.
जानना. Do you think it is maybe that Jan has come from Gyan has become Jan? Do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Because that Jna is nothing but J plus Jna, no? So I think,
So maybe
yeah,
that Gyan has become Jan and that has become
yes,
Jana, because it's
yeah,
easier to just say maybe
yeah.
Jnan again. So people maybe they might be using Janana.
Yeah.
So tell me about the words Ma, Matra, and how do they correlate and what is it all about?
Matra is the root word from which Ma comes. Mata comes.
Okay.
So Mata, when I saw the etymology of Mata, it is Manyate iti Mata. One who is respected is Mata.
Oh,
So if you see, we in North Indian, they say like Mataji, no?
Mataji.
To
Correct.
everyone, they say not just their
Yeah, yeah.
mother,
Correct.
because all women are
Respected.
re-
Hmm.
yeah. So that is Manyate iti Mata. For our own mother who gave birth to us, that mother specifically, if you want to say, then Janani,
Janani.
one who Janma to us.
Oh,
That
so
is
what is the
Janani.
Niruktam for Janani?
Janayati iti Janani.
So the one who
One
gives birth.
birth. Yes.
Oh, so Mata has become a synonym later, maybe
But
with.
even our mother is respected, worthy of.
True,
So,
but that is a very generalized thing, no? Isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yes,
Oh, interesting. So, so you're saying anybody who is respected is Mata.
yeah,
And is it a striling word?
yes, yeah.
So what would be the pulling of it?
For Mata, there is no
Yeah.
no pulling up for Matri Shabda. There is no Pitri is there.
Correct, of course.
Pitri,
But I thought maybe
yeah.
because if
For
it's all about
respect,
respect, it would be for somebody male also.
you can say like Mananiyaha, like that you can say.
Ah, Mananiya, correct.
Manyaha is there. Pullingam. Manyaha, Manya is there.
Oh, so Manya is basically the pulling of Mata. If we go
Manya, yeah,
Niruktam wise,
yes,
striling pulling would be this. Mata and
yeah.
Manya.
Mm. Manya in Strilingam also is there. Manya has a respectable person in Pullingam. Manya, Strilingam is also there. But Mata, there is no item. Huh?
It's very unique, no? Because Manya
Yeah.
is there, Manya is, but Mata and then something pulling is not there. Very surprising. Because when you said respect, then I thought, oh, for pulling also there will be something, like Mataji, there will be something for pulling. But interestingly, it's not. Very nice. And so Matra is the Dhatu. Matra.
Yes. Not Dhatu, the Pratipadikam we say. For nouns we say Dhatu, but for verbs we say Dhatu. Root of a verb is Dhatu. Root of a noun is Pratipadikam.
Pratipadikam. Interesting. So basically, for every word, there will be a Niruktam, no? It can go on like an Inception thing.
Yeah.
That movie, no, dream within a dream within a dream. It is like
Yes.
to do this word, then you can do Niruktam of that word, then again a Niruktam of that word.
Because Yaskacharya himself says, don't stop anywhere. Definitely every word will have it will have a Niruktam. So don't give up anytime, he says.
So maybe this Vidya and Jnanam, we should discuss in another session of ours. That subtle difference. Maybe I'll also try to find, but because you have the language proficiency, I'm sure you will have better resources to find that. So there's this one word, two words, which I'm going to ask you. One is Drishadavati.
Drishadvati. So
Drishadvati.
Yeah, Drishadvati. Drishat means stone.
Stone.
Yeah, Drishadvati is one tributary of Saraswati River, I think.
Correct. That is why I asked you.
Yeah. So because the river possesses lots of stones. So that is why the name is Drishadvati, one who possesses stones.
So Vati goes by the same logic of Matub, right?
Yeah.
So who possesses? So Drishad is, you're saying stones. So the river which is possessing the stone is Drishadvati.
Yes.
So maybe then it would be, this gives a new insight. Which means that, like, for example, now if you go to Devprayag, you will see Alaknanda and Bhagirathi coming and joining together to become Ganga, right? So if a tributary or if another river, Drishadvati, is coming and meeting Saraswati, then it might be they are trying to explain that this river is with lot of stones in it. And the one which is joining Saraswati is this. That can be one of the ways they might be looking at it. The real river and how to explain, how to specify that river. Maybe that's why they would have given this name, Drishadvati.
Maybe there were a lot of stones compared to other rivers.
Compared to other rivers, yes. So it gave them this, that river a quality that, the one with so many stones is this, Drishadvati. Oh, fantastic. Now I have to go and now see, I'll go and check in the reports, like what is the way in which, because most of the reports have just written these are the tributaries or it was joining in, but it would be good to see if actually this matches. It will be fascinating to see that matches. So the last word for which I would like to have your Niruktam for today's session is Matrika.
Matrika also is from that Matra only. So I'm not much into this. It's maybe if you go into these Tantra Shastras or this Shakta traditions, Shaktis, maybe you'll find it, but I didn't find much about the.
Because I'll tell you something interesting about Matrika. Matrika is it's in Natya Shastra first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a musical concept. I won't even say, it's a Sangeet concept. And especially in terms of music. I had released a song about 2 weeks back called Naina More. Find time, please listen to it. So I've written, it's based on the concept of Matrika.
Okay.
In that concept, in musical concept, what it means is, whatever is the sargam, sa re ga ma pa dha ni, whatever is the starting letter of the sargam, the lyrics has to be from those 7 letters only. Whatever is the word, the sargam has to match. For example, Naina More, the sargam will be ni ma re.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that is called the concept of Matrika. But I
Oh.
realized that this is only true for music, because then I
Mm.
went into researching about the word matrika, and I found there are so many matrikas. Sapta matrikas are there.
Mm.
And maybe that relates to the Sapta Rishis, and then it
Mm.
relates to the seven constellations. So I was also talking to one another friend of mine. I think you would have seen him, the one Uday from the Sanskrit channel, and we were talking about this word matrika, and why I wanted to know more about the word and Niruktam especially was because I wanted to see if anything relates to this musical aspect of it. And one fascinating thing that he told me was that matrika word se hi meter nikla hai. The word meter in English has come from matrika.
Matra. Matra.
Matra, correct. Matra say meter, and matrika
Yeah.
has also come from the same word, like you said, Dun, the matra.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. There is a difference. So matrika, I was thinking matrika,
uh-huh.
but I think you are meaning matrika. There is a difference.
Maybe I might be saying it wrong. Yeah, it's
Okay.
matrika. Yes, you are right.
Matrika is from the matra, but
Which is matra.
matra,
The
matra
matra
is
wala matrika.
matrika, three.
Correct. So
Like,
yeah, so I said matrika only. Is that right?
okay.
Right way?
Correct, correct, correct,
Ah,
correct.
so it's somewhere related to metering and matra, which is like
Mm,
one unit. That's what I could comprehend. But what does
mm.
matra mean? What would be the niruktam for matra?
Niruktam, I don't know, but matra is the time taken for one snap.
Correct. So in music also, one unit is a matra. So this is a matra. This is also a
Ah.
matra. So any sound that can fill in that unit uh, beat is a matra. So one single beat or a count is a matra.
Mm. Mm.
So from that only this word matrika has come into a picture. But I thought maybe it is related. I was wondering if it is related something with Saraswati, and because musically there is so much to it. And
Ah.
fun fact, in Carnatic music, because matrika is used in Hindustani music, this concept.
Mm.
In
Mm.
Carnatic music, they have actually a word which is actually very nice, and the word itself gives the meaning just like Niruktam. It's called Swaraksharam. Swar
Oh.
plus Akshar.
Mm.
So the
Mm.
Swar is Saregama Padani, and Akshar, you have to make the same word and make the lyric in a way where the Swaram or the Sargam matches. So Swaraksharam, of course, is a better word to tell the concept. But in Hindustani, it's called Matrika. And
Mm.
I think that it might be
You
uh,
say matra or matrika for this?
Matrika is only this concept, but we say Matra.
Oh,
Matrika is
okay.
this specific concept where the lyrics have to be mapped to the same swaram, same sargam.
Oh,
That concept
okay.
is called Matrika. And because
Oh.
I have been making songs on it and I released one, so my
Mm.
fascinating and curious mind was behind that. Why is it called Matrika? Is there something
Okay.
related to, the Saraswati and or the Sapta Matrika? Because if you read, you will find about this the seven matrikas.
Mm.
I thought maybe is it because that's also seven, this is also seven, so maybe that's why
Yeah.
I named it. So all this
Yeah.
was going on in my mind. Huh. So yeah, lot of thinking, no? Like you said,
Yeah.
what was it? The four parts of Vani. So this is all that
Ah, yes, yes.
Vani in the mind.
Ma- Madhyama Vani.
Yeah. And after that comes
Vaikhari
Vaikhari,
is spoken.
the spoken one. So there are three more before that, actually, before we speak. Two more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Three more. Three more. Before.
three more. No, there are four Vanis, no?
Yeah. Four. Four.
Wow,
Mm.
that is something very interesting. So I think with this Nirukta concept, it is very interesting to analyze and put things in perspective. That's why I wanted to talk with you about Niruktam, because when you were saying the meanings, then my mind is now trying to connect the dots. Because if my focus is on the river, the Vedic Saraswati, and how we have evolved to where we are right now as humans and as a civilization, all these words kind of give me an idea to connect dots, that why is it that we associate Saraswati Devi with so many or these things. And
Mm.
this helps me to connect those dots and eventually connect to that river which gave us, which started and nourished and this entire civilization. So that's why I think this is a very useful concept, and we must do more of these for different words. And I'm sure you will help me out with this even further in many other
Yeah, it
podcasts.
was learning for me also.
No, no, I think this is such a beautiful way. Podcasting, like I think telling you over a call that all our ancient scriptures are podcasts because they are between two people. Narada
Yeah.
Vacha, and then maybe a Muni. He is
Mm.
saying something. So even that time, I feel it's such a nice way where two people are talking and they're trying to learn from each other. In that entire journey, I think all these things which are written is, all the Skanda Puran, let's say they're talking, two people are talking, this entire, what if this entire video had to be written down? That would become
Mm.
one
Yeah.
section of a book. So I think that is
Mm.
what was happening in the ancient times. So in some way, we are reinventing the wheels. Even this, the funny thing, if you can say, is that the entire concept of learning through Vani is back.
Mm. Yeah, correct.
The
Yeah.
Kala Chakra has come back in a way where we
Yeah.
are again back to learning from Vani, because see, none of us, we read so much. Many people, they don't read. We don't read. I mean, not you. You read. I know. I read, but I read a lot of different things. But this entire concept of the transmission of knowledge through the Vani, of how Vedas were happening in those times, that has come back. And same way the
Yeah.
podcasts have come back. So I think it's a great time. The Kal Chakra is, the circle is coming back to the same point, and now we are kind of reinventing the wheels and trying to understand the entire essence of being a Bharatiya,
Mm.
learning about our Indic knowledge. And I
Mm.
mean, thanks to people like you who have dedicated their entire lives to this language, which has been the, I should say, the cradle of our entire, civilization learning, and the entire knowledge is kind of coded in this. Now it's coded because we don't know. None of
Mm.
us know the language well, so it seems as if it's all coded. But people like you who are the keys to the lock, like I was saying, you help us to demystify all these ideas. And thank you so much, Shubha, for joining in today. It's such an honor, and I would definitely love you to come back again and again and teach us more. And the next time I'll have different set of things, and we will definitely talk about the Vidya and Jnanam
Yeah.
together in the next podcast. But whatever you would like to say about this conversation that we had today.
Thank you so much. I totally enjoyed, and it was like a learning process for me also. Like I learned Saraswati was making so much noise. First, I came to know through you.
Oh, wow.
So, and also the music aspect, many you told like the Bageshri,
Hmm.
very nice, interesting to know that.
Yeah,
And I will.
people are coming from different backgrounds and then they connect things. Oh, even this is
Mm.
music. Like you would know so much about the Shastras, like you said. It's a fascinating
Mm.
thing, learning from each other
Yeah.
and
I
connecting.
don't know anything about music. I mean, I have heard in family people they discuss, but I am like a jnana shunyam in music.
I am sure you
So
cannot be that because a good listener is also a good musician.
yeah, but I don't listen too much also to classical music. I only some favorite songs I
Classical
just
music you
listen.
need not listen, but you listen to music, no?
Yeah, that also I don't listen much.
Really? Oh, wow.
So
Very.
I don't listen too much to music
So what do you
because
do to kind of chill? If do you listen to something or no? What do you do to chill?
I'm mostly into reading books. Otherwise, I spend time in nature. These are the two things
I
for me.
think
And
that is such a good.
meditation is another favorite
Being in nature
hobby.
is such a, that's why they say it's a healing
Mm,
process. It has come to a level that we are talking about nature healing us. The fact that, we should aim to be one with nature. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And I think that's what all our ancestors, they were very connected. Like you said, they could listen to the sounds of the cosmos, realize them. because to do that, I think you need to be super connected. And I always think of that movie Avatar, the way they
Mm.
physically showed it, that to be connected with nature they have to connect their tails and it gets
Mm.
connected to a tree, and then the nature gives you a signal. It's a physical manifestation of this entire aspect of prakriti and purush, which I felt is what that entire movie was all about. The prakriti and
Mm.
purush is a very, I mean, people will be like, "Arey, Avatar ko isne kidhar se kidhar mila diya." But I personally felt that was the real connection about, being with nature, getting connected to it, listening to what, the nature is telling you. But great. I mean, great that you are with nature so much, and thank you so much once again. It's
Thank
really an
you.
honor, Shubha, to have you, and we will do more and more podcasts like these for me and for all the other listeners also to learn more. And I think this is our way of what do you say? I won't even say giving back, but I would say that this is our way of trying to understand our rich and such a unique way of living and our Sanatan Dharma, and knowing about us, knowing about Bharat and what it means in real sense. So thank you so much once again.
Thank
Namaskaram.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.